The many deities within Hinduism can often appear strange to the Western mind. This is particularly true of the various gods who have the form of animals. Ganesha has an elephant head, Lord Narasimha is half lion, Hayagriva has the head of a horse, there is Adishesh, the snake bed of Vishnu, then there is Garuda, the bird, Lord Varaha, a boar, there is Matsya, a fish, Kurma, and of course Hanuman, a monkey. Why, someone may ask, do you worship so many random animals? Is this not a sign of the primitive pagan roots of your religion? When asked why Ganesha has an elephant head, many Hindus might recoil into a nervous silence. Others might tell the story of how Shiva beheaded him and granted him a new one. Those who are a little more confident, however, might talk about symbolism. Ganesha has a big elephant head to represent the immense intelligence needed to discriminate and grow. He has large ears to show that he listens and is all-knowing. His trunk represents strength and flexibility in our temperament. He has a rope which pulls us to the right place in life. He has a sweet modicum which is the blissful reward of our spiritual practice. Ganesha rides the rat, showing us how spiritual wisdom should be used to conquer the erratic mind. The symbolism of the various deities is a very important feature of Hindu theology. There are innumerable life lessons and teachings embedded in these forms and indeed the stories behind them. But there is a danger that we can become overly obsessed with symbolism. The need to develop a rational explanation for all the apparently strange features of the various gods and goddesses can make us lose sight of why these deities have been revealed to us. Instead of a divine personality, Ganesha can become an inanimate set of codes that we have to try and work out or talk about. Rather than truly connecting with him within, we end up superficially trying to interpret him. Learning the meanings behind the forms is very valuable, but it cannot be at the expense of attempting to know them on a spiritual level. The same applies for ritual activity in the temple. It is important to understand why things are being done, but the main point of ritual activity is to connect and build a relationship with God. These forms have been envisaged by rishis and sages. Their nature has been revealed through the various narratives, and mantras have been ascribed to them that carry their vibration. The various personalities of the divine are portals that take us beyond the material and mental to the transcendent. But this only happens once we embrace and devotionally enjoy them as they are. The great bhakti saints of all the different deities reached elevated states of consciousness not through obsessing about the symbolism of the forms they worshipped, but through surrendering to them in devotion. We commonly believe that such devotion to these forms is for the ignorant and naive. More advanced seekers, however, should not bother too much with these sentimental practices and should instead focus on the inner symbolic meaning. But actually, it is more the other way. For those who feel distant from God, an intellectual understanding is important to help build a connection. It provides a base for the logical mind and critically keeps us grounded in our perspective. But for those who are more evolved, such a connection flows easily. It is not based on interpreting symbols, but on humility and a sincerity to know who God is. When a Hindu is asked why Ganesha has an elephant head, rather than immediately pointing to his symbolic nature, perhaps the right response should be, why shouldn't a manifestation of the divine have an elephant's head? Is there a limitation on how God can reveal himself? Animals are as much a part of nature as humans, so why should he not choose their characteristics in a divine form? In the Old Testament, the Lord appears and speaks to Moses as a burning bush. Although Jews and Christians do not worship such images, it does not change the fact that the divine chose to reveal himself in this way. God does not have any restrictions on how he wishes to be known. He does not have to conform to the judgments and conditions of our minds, and Hinduism recognizes this. He can manifest in any form. This is why we have stones such as the Shaligram and plants such as Tulsi Devi, which are viewed as divine personalities. In chapter 10 of the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna yearns to know the truth of how Krishna can be known in this world. In response, Krishna describes his vibhudis or glories. Amongst many other statements, he declares, "Of mountains I am Meru, of immovable things I am the Himalayas, of lordly elephants I am Airavata, among cows I am Surabhi, of serpents I am Vasuki, among beasts I am the lion, among birds I am Garuda, of fishes I am the shark, and of flowing rivers I am the Ganges." Krishna goes on illustrating how he can be recognized in this material world. The overall point is his attributes and the breadth of who he is truly infinite. It is woven into nature and at the same time lies completely beyond it. This is why Hindu deities carry all kinds of features including animals. There is no limit to the expression and beauty of God. Wherever we look, we can find his magnificence. Krishna's detailed description of his nature prepares Arjuna for the direct cosmic form he is shown. This experience breaks all his preconceived ideas of what God should and should not be. By accepting divinity in multiple forms, we are also compelled to abandon the limitations of what we think God should be. We are called to perceive him everywhere we look. Having this realization is what makes us ready to rise spiritually. We must see that rationalizing the ideas and beliefs of Hinduism should be done to increase devotion and a feeling of connectedness. It should not be done, however, to make Hinduism conform to the judgments of a Western worldview. The Dharmic lens of viewing God is different to the Abrahamic lens. It is a religion that understands and celebrates the complex, paradoxical, and unfathomable presence of divinity. It does not limit its possibilities. This is what sets it apart from all other faiths. This is what makes God near and dear to humanity. Many thanks for listening.